All right, what's good, people? Let me jump right into this. I want to talk about Lorenzo Hunt versus Mick Terrell, and I want to talk about Mike Perry versus Thiago Alves. Now, of course, this was the main event at Knucklemania 4. Now, I love to watch combat sports in general. I love to compete. I love to, the training, everything about it. The keeping fit, everything, focus, everything that it does for me. Okay, now in terms of watching the sport, listen, every sport doesn't grow at the same pace. Now, y'all know me, I'm going to be honest. As much as I want to see this sport grow, and I watch it all the time, let me tell you, the whole card was underwhelming. Okay, and I'm going to explain some things. Let me just get to the fights first. Now, Mike Perry, he landed like he threw the punch in a way where it landed like more like a left hook / uppercut. Okay, so it hits Thiago Alves like here. So his hand hit here, and part of his hand got here on his jaw, not in the chin though, right on the jaw. And Thiago Alves goes down. Now, before he went down, he cut Mike Perry, I think, under his left eye, and they both landed a couple of shots, here and there, and it ended in the first round. Thiago Alves, in my opinion, he could have gotten up. I'm just being honest, okay? To me, it looked like when he got hit, he went down and was looking like, damn, And it's like he made up his mind, you know what, why take an ass whooping? I'm not feeling it tonight. I'm done. So he gets up, he does a little slight stagger, puts his hands up, the ref is saying, you want to continue? He's going, yeah. You want to continue? Yeah. He says, okay, walk over this way. And he stumbles over, and then the ref waves it off. But the second Mike Perry walks to him, there's no more stumbling. He's fine all of a sudden. I just think he quit. I think he gave up. He just didn't want to go through with the ass whooping, and he just gave up. Now, he said at the post conference that he was retiring. Okay, cool. Now, here's the thing. Okay, I don't care about their salaries and all of that. I just want to make a point to you, though. Mike Perry, they said, is the highest paid bare knuckle fighter, and he just made $600,000 for 1 minute of fighting. And basically, the sport itself, see, it doesn't have homegrown names. Everybody comes from either MMA or boxing or something else, okay? And pretty much they're not good at stand-up. Some of them, a few boxers I saw, got like a handful of guys that can go. Austin Trout, I saw him win a title at 154 pounds over there, 55 pounds, whatever. But he, we know Trout can box, and he's up in age now as well. Okay, but let me say, the fact is, Lorenzo Hunt, now when I say homegrown talent, this is what I mean. Someone who trains particularly for bare knuckle fighting and then went into it, not known from MMA or some other discipline. Okay, Muay Thai, whatever, K1, nothing. One championship, nothing. They just came straight from, a training, a bare knuckle striking type, some type of training facility, and trained for this and came into it and became stars without being known somewhere else. That's what I mean when I say that. Now, Lorenzo Hunt, Thiago Alves, all these guys, they're known from other sports, and the stigma that's on bare knuckle fighting is people look at them like, you guys got a bunch of washed up former guys that either wasn't shit in MMA or used to be, now they're old, they can't do it anymore, and they come and they do bare knuckle fighting. I think it's unfair because everything is different. That's just like, you might be great at basketball. That doesn't mean you're gonna be great at football. Okay, but that's the cloud that's over bare knuckle fighting. Now, Chris Lieben, he was one of the judges. Now we know that Conor McGregor is part owner of bare knuckle fighting. So where the sport goes from here, how it, if it grows and become a mainstream thing, I'm going to tell you it's going to need some work. Because for one, MMA guys have training facilities all over the place. Boxers have training facilities. Muay Thai guys, like all these different disciplines have training facilities, and an abundance of trainers that train fighters to compete in their respective sports. But I don't know if there is any training facility for bare knuckle fighting. I don't know, and if it is, they need to promote it and make it known and start to bring some more light to the sport. You only have one federation that's known right now, and that's to be BKFC. And the way I see it, they only have them, so they need to do more to promote their sport and bring some more attention to what they're doing. Because when you have events like that, underwhelming events like that, and your co-main event and your main event are no different from any other fight on the card, just think about it. He went down, and I feel strongly like he could have continued, and I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of other people that feel the same way. Now, Lorenzo Hunt and Mick Terrell, their fight ended in the first round. Now, basically, Lorenzo Hunt got caught with an uppercut. He went down and fell in a weird way, and he basically dislocated his elbow. Now, I posted a video in the a short video of it, and you can see what happened. Okay, in bare knuckle fighting, Lorenzo Hunt, he always does this, and many of them do. When you throw shots at them, they cover their head like this. Okay, of course, because you can cover more real estate that way instead of trying to just do this. But when they do this, you see all this space here? Now, not only does he do this, but he did that, and when he did it, for some reason, he turned sideways. Okay, and I guess to get his head away from him, figuring, okay, he won't get a clear shot at me. But he did that, and I think Mick Terrell threw either straight at him. He threw something, but he came up with the uppercut. And the uppercut, look at all this. All right, you're doing this, but look at all this. Kane caught him. Bam, it dropped him. Now, when he went down, it didn't look like he was, he wasn't down there like eyes rolled back and none of that. He was actually telling the ref, like, when he went down, like, my arm, like, and like that looked like it hurt more than the punch itself. He got dropped. Now, the thing was, this fight, I wanted to know if Mick had the foot speed to, like, catch up to him and fight him the way he needed to. And pretty much, look, it went the way it went. Now, when a fighter that you want to see wins, the crowd is, oh, but at the same time, it's like, what the hell just happened? It wasn't even competitive, man. Like, we didn't get to see anything, is what I'm saying. Nothing really happened. And, but you see, the thing is, he was able to get to him, and he was able to, these guys are getting older, and let me just say, a guy like, and I know a lot of people don't like Lorenzo Hunt because he talk a lot of shit, but what people fail to realize what he's doing, he's really trying to bring awareness to the sport. And I'm not into the shit talking. Mike Perry does all that. Like, that stuff doesn't mean anything, but like Mike Perry just does things in like an asshole type way, man. Like, a lot of times, I think he liked to get under people's skin. Like I think both of them do. But Mike Perry, he's saying who's left. There's nobody else. He called us some guy named Darren Till or whatever. Don't know too much about him. Probably somebody I saw fight before, and I'll see his face and go, okay, I saw this guy before. I don't know, but they don't have any like standout stars, like people that just stand out, people that okay, if he's on the card, I'm ordering his pay-per-view, whatever. A lot of people were saying, I'm so glad I didn't order this garbage, blah, blah, blah. Like there was a lot of disappointed people. And see, you can't, you can't have guys coming in there and like, that's the one thing, like that's always happening with bare knuckle fighting, is that you got a lot of guys that they really can't fight. They just have the heart to fight, and they want to make some money, and they're just in there swinging punches, and it's like, it's underwhelming. So now at least you think, okay, well, Thiago Alves, he's one of the top guys there, and so is Mike Perry, and he gets hit with a half shot, and it was one of those like quick shots. It wasn't even something where he just brought the punch all the way through. He just hit the target. He didn't try to punch through it, and it, like I said, half of his hand hit here, and the other, caught here, and if you went down and had Bambi legs because of that, you have a weak jaw, man. And I know if you get caught right, that is the punch you don't see coming and all that, yeah, whatever. But that's my whole point. That punch, it didn't land hard enough for you to have damn Bambi legs. And he did that little stumble. To me, it's just like like I said, I just think he just wanted a way out, and fuck it. You know what? Let's call it a night early. Okay, it is what it is. And the BKFC didn't need that. The fans doesn't need that. But that's just the way it went. We know that a fight can go. It's not, I don't imagine. You can imagine all you want. A fight's going to go the way it's going to go. I just felt like when I was watching that fight that I know how I felt. It's like a lot of people sitting there going, what did I just watch? Even if you wanted Mike Perry to win, it's like, Thiago, like, what the hell are you doing? You went down from that. And as far as what happened with Lorenzo Hunt, it's just unfortunate because it was a freak accident. The way he landed, I think he would have got up from the punch. Now, what would have happened, we don't know. They're both saying that, yeah, they'll have a rematch. And you know what? To be honest with you, like I said, these guys are getting older. And, Lorenzo Hunt is coming up. He has the belt at 185, 205, and now he's trying to get a belt at heavyweight. And the thing is, it made me kind of think like, wow, see, this is my point. Even though he has belts in two weight classes, Mike Perry is a bigger star. And he makes more money. I don't know how much Lorenzo Hunt make, but they said Mike Perry's at the very top, $600,000 he just made in this fight. So I don't know, and I don't care on a personal level, but that just go to show you what I'm saying. Star power. That's what these companies need. But if they're going to get these guys and they come there and they're already well known, I get it. But hopefully they're developing some actual fighters that can come in there and that can actually scrap, because, this is what they need. It doesn't matter because you played a different sport and either you wasn't good at that sport, now you're doing bare knuckle, or you got older, you retired from there, you come in, whatever it is. Bottom line is, if you go in there and you can't perform and the fans don't feel like they have a reason to want to come back out or order a pay-per-view again, then you got to look at the product that you're giving. And like I said, I like what bare knuckle having, and don't get it twisted, I have seen some good fights. The problem, like I said before, though, is they never have a full balance on their cards. It's always like you might get a couple of good ones in there, a couple of bangers, but if you just say if you got 8 fights and only 1 or 2 of them were good, you know what I mean? That's not good, man. They have a women's division. Who talks about the females? Who talks about any of them really? And that's the point. What I'm saying. If you're watching SportsCenter, you're watching anything, where they're talking about, combat sports and they're not talking about bare knuckle, that's what you want to get it to. It does have an underground following. Yes, it does, like I said before. But those type of things hurt the sport, man. It really hurts the sport. You want to go from filling out ballrooms to actual stadiums and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they want to get to that level. Now, will it ever get to that level? We don't know. And it's tough. It's tough, man, because in this day and age, especially because you have guys that'll say things like, Conor McGregor is my favorite fighter, but let's say Conor's no longer in the UFC and he goes to PFL. well, I wish him luck over in the PFL, but I don't watch them, so I won't be watching Conor, but he's my favorite fighter. Like, this is the type of stuff that people say. So this mindset, thinking that because you get guys that stars from another company, that, you know, this is different. It's different. Bare knuckle is a legit sport. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's get these guys in. You know, they need to have these guys, man. Look, boxers are always going to be the best at it, and the strikers understand, you know, of course, they'd have to, you know, spar with gloves on, with the, you know, the gloves with the fingers out, and, you know, bigger ones, because you don't want guys getting busted up, and, you know, they'd never be good for a fight, you know. So anyway, they really need to get some guys trained to learn how to slip punches and move. Let me tell you something, man. Two guys standing there, both bloody at the end of the fight, just swinging a bunch of wild punches in the crowd. Like, I mean, you know, me myself, that doesn't get me going. I don't applaud bad boxing, bad fighting, bad skills don't get me going. But those are the type of things that are happening. And it's really guys that don't have any real skill. So now when someone comes along and they have better stand-up and they win, it's like, okay, this guy used to be in the UFC. Oh, he used to be in Bellator. You know, that type of situation. So my point is, their star power is not going to increase because they go to BKFC unless the product itself, they produce better fighters overall. Otherwise, you know, that they're going to always be haunted with that whole, oh man, they got these old washed up former MMA guys, washed up former boxing guys. Like, nobody talks about Austin Trout anymore. I mean, his name might come up when they talk about the fight with him and Canelo and who they really think won and stuff like that. But just his career, like him as a fighter, people don't really bring up Austin Trout. So, you know, that's pretty much what BKFC has been framed as. A league full of rejects, has-beens. And until they start to develop, you know, something, start to develop better fighters, you know, it's going to be hard for them to get away from that. Now, just imagine when these guys come from MMA and they're getting cheers from the crowd because everybody knows them from the UFC or whatever. Now, they come in there and they're fighting somebody that basically is groomed for bare knuckle, and they go in there and get the hell beat out of them. Then it's like, okay, this guy's good. You know, but again, too, man, you know, everything is not designed to really grow to be, like, huge. Maybe they'll just be able to maintain where they are. You know, hopefully that they can. It's just something else for me to watch for sure. You know, like I said, but they need balance. They need better fighters. And it's going to take a while. But that's just the way it went. And once again, man, when your prelims are weak, and then you have a whole, you know, co-main event and main event, and both of those fights suck, what do you expect to happen? You know, and just saying, man, you know, not faulty. I can't fault Lorenzo Hunt for what happened to his elbow, but, you know, Thiago Alves, that's different, because I strongly feel like he could have continued, and he just didn't want to go on. He quit, you know, and said he retired. You know, Mike Perry doesn't even know how to talk, man. He can't do interviews. The guy's talking to him. He's calling a referee. He's like, that Big John McCarthy, right? And it wasn't Big John McCarthy. Like, McCarthy, you're in the ring with him. You don't even remember the referee's name. And he just was talking like he doesn't talk, man. He doesn't know how to talk. He really doesn't know how to answer questions. You know, people like that, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know if people do it on purpose. They think like acting foolish in front of a camera, or like I don't know if that's supposed to be a cool thing or something, but he doesn't know how to talk. Then he's talking about A Star Is Born, man. Give me a movie contract. Put me in movies, yo, and this and this and this. And you know, and shout about how there's nobody left. Goddamn, you are a part of a company. Like, you're supposed to put the company over, build the company up, give people a reason to want to see it. Like, you know, you talk about there's nobody left. I called out Darren Till, I think is his name, and he don't want to fight me, and he's not going to fight me, and you know, and so, like, who's left? There's nothing else for me to do, and blah, blah, blah. Like, wow. So you just basically sat here and said, you're just here for some easy money because there's nobody else left to challenge you. I'm just saying it ends up being one of them situations, man, where, like I said, the star power that they have from other people coming from other genres is not, it's not gonna help them to grow. It may help them to maintain. So I don't know who's next, and I'm pretty sure Conor McGregor is trying to get, you know, a lot of guys down from the MMA world to come in, and whatever people that he know. You always see Conor at boxing matches and like Conor, so he'll probably be trying to get guys, you know, who's in boxing but don't have such a big name yet and stuff like that, because basically they, you know, their money is not gonna compare to what you make in boxing once you get a name. So but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, shit, who wouldn't want 600 grand? But I'm just saying that, you know, what I'm sitting here saying right now, you would have to think, you think Conor, of anybody, would be thinking like, yeah, we need to get better fighters in here, man. We for this thing to grow, and he's a part owner, so you know he don't want it to fail. So we'll see how things unfold. I mean, I don't know. I'm into it, but the card itself, the event just underwhelmed, man. And this is happening way too often. Like I said, but there are some good fights that you get. And the funny thing about it is usually the fighters that people overlook a lot of times, you know, that as far as thinking the matchup is going to be something special, then all of a sudden these guys go in and they put on. But once again, it's more fights on the card that underwhelms than fights that live up to the expectations. So that's just the way that went. But anyway, if there's going to be a rematch between Lorenzo Hunt and Mick Terrell, well, Lorenzo, you know, this shit here, I got you. But with this here, that's how he caught you. And I don't know, you know, a long time ago, I said, man, when he does that, I get him. But when you do that and you bend forward, that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. In boxing, we love that. Stick that chin over your over your knee if you want to, and then you got your hands here, you covering. He backs up, but then, you know, throw a shot, you go forward, and he went sideways with it, and you know, people, when you do film study, you see mistakes that people make, you see habits that they have, you see things that they've been doing and getting away with it. How can I, you know, how can I do what everybody else couldn't do? And you know, Mick Terrell he is slow. But guess what? He was fast enough to catch him. And he caught him. He went down, and yeah, the rest is history. So anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.